Dear students, today in this video we will study about the classification of fungi. We know that fungi are non-green, they are eukaryotic, and chitin is one of the component of their cell wall. And if we study a single filament of a fungi, then we will term that single filament as hypha, and a mass of hypha or hyphae is termed as mycelium. So there are so many criteria or keys for the classification of fungi. These criteria are septation, sexual reproduction, formation of or development of spores, sexual spores inside or outside the body, then number of spore per cell, and the septation inside the basidium, etc. So let us proceed. Look at this structure. This is a non-septate unicellular zoospore of Syncytium. Since the body is non-septate, hence it is placed under class Phycomycetes. And here the body is unicellular or the mycelia is absent. So we create a subclass Archimycetes under the class Phycomycetes. Let us move to another example. In your screen there are two globular structures. One is small and another one is big. The small one is the male unit and the big one is the female unit. And the mycelia are non-septate. Non-septate means here these are septa. In this case the septa are absent. Okay. So mycelia is non-septate, cynocytic. Cynocytic means many nucleated. Hence it is placed under class Phycomycetes. And the units of reproduction are not equal. One is small and another one is big. So this one is placed under subclass Oomycetes. Here the sex units combine together to form oospores, and oospores are formed inside the large unit. Okay. Now we are moving to another diagram. In your screen it is none other than mucor. You know this one very much. Mucor and rhizopas, they destroy our bread. Hence they are termed as bread mold also. Here again the mycelia is non-septate sinusitic, so it will place under class Phycomycetes. Up to this it is clear, that is non-septate mycelial fungi are placed under class Phycomycetes. Okay, is there any criteria here? Yes. What is that criteria? Here the sex units are of equal size. Here two gametangia, one from plus mycelia and another from minus mycelia, they meet together to produce zygospore. Hence mucor, rhizopas, etc. are placed under subclass Zygomycetes. So we may say that class Phycomycetes is subdivided into three subclasses: Archimycetes, Oomycetes and Zygomycetes. In Archimycetes there is no mycelia, that is mycelia is non-developed, and in case of Oomycetes and Zygomycetes the mycelia is developed but non-septate, and Oomycetes the sexual units are unequal in size, and in Zygomycetes the sexual units are equal in size. Okay, let us proceed to another example. This is a flow sheet. Okay, here look at the mycelia. Here the mycelia are well developed and septate. Previously we discussed about non-septate one. Now we are discussing about the septate fungi. These septate fungi cannot perform sexual reproduction. Hence it is imperfect, and it is also termed as fungi imperfecti. These imperfect fungi are placed under the class Deuteromycetes, and this class is not divided in any further subclasses. And if any scientists or mycologists they find any kind of sexual reproduction in any member of Deuteromycetes, then that member will be placed under either Ascomycetes or Basidiomycetes on the basis of their spore formation. Okay, if the spores are produced inside the container, then Ascomycetes. Then if the spores are produced outside the container, then Basidiomycetes. Okay, again I am repeating this one. Here the mycelia is well septate, but the fungus cannot perform sexual reproduction. It performs reproduction by means of asexual one. Hence it is placed under class Deuteromycetes. Here the mycelia is septate, well developed, and it can perform sexual reproduction. Female unit and male unit will coil it, the content will meet together, and ultimately they will produce spores, and these spores are produced inside the ascus. Suppose this one is ascus and spores will be produced inside this. Here in case of Penicillium, the ascus is like this. This one is another ascus and these are the spores. These are spores, this one is ascus. And these ascus, they are placed inside a globular fruit body, ascocarp. Okay, so we may conclude that Penicillium perform sexual reproduction to produce ascospores inside the ascus, and these ascuses are placed or formed inside a globular. Okay, so the ascomycetes which are forming or which form globular fruit body are placed under subclass Plactomycetes. Okay, let us consider another example. Here this one is about Ascobolus. Here also the mycelia is septate. These are the sex units, male and female, and they produce ascus and ascospores, and these ascuses are kept inside or in a carp-like fruit body called apothecium. Since the fruit body is carp-like, apothecial type, so it will be placed under the subclass Discomycetes of the class Ascomycetes. Let us consider this one. Here again the mycelia is septate, well developed, and the sexual spores are produced inside the fruit body, so it is under class Ascomycetes, but the fruit body is flask shaped, so the subclasses will be Pyrenomycetes. Let us study this one. Here the mycelium is septate, well developed, but the spores are produced outside the body, that is exogenous production. So a new class is formed, and that class is Basidiomycetes. Here the number of spores are indefinite, hence it is placed, this fungi is placed under subclass Hemibasidiomycetes of the class Basidiomycetes. Study this one. Here again mycelia is septate and they perform sexual reproduction. The spores are formed outside the body or exogenously, hence the class is Basidiomycetes. And the number of basidia are definite, but the basidium is septate or the basidium is segmented, hence a new subclass is formed under the class Basidiomycetes, and it is the Protobasidiomycetes. Again, here the number of spores are definite and the basidium is segmented. Okay, this one is the basidium, it is segmented, and on that exogenous spores are formed. Okay, let us study this one. This one is the fruit body of Agaricus. Here the mycelia is septate and the apex of the hyphae is converted into basidium, and on the outside of the basidium definite number of basidiospores are formed. Okay, so it is basidiomycetes, and since the spores are definite and the basidium is non-septate, hence it is placed under the subclass Autobasidiomycetes. Okay, now we may conclude that kingdom fungi is divided into 4 classes. The first class, Phycomycetes, is divided into 3 subclasses. Second, Deuteromycetes, it is not divided into any subclasses. The rest, Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes, are again subdivided into subclasses. Okay, hope it will help you to classify fungi. Please study the keys properly, criteria properly, and collect few specimens from the field, and then try to classify them with the help of the manuals. Thank you.